Before we begin, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more amazing animated stories.
Enjoy your coffee. I was working at a coffee shop when I met him, or at least, I thought I knew who he was. He walked in on a Tuesday morning, nothing special about him. Or so I thought. He ordered black coffee, paid in cash, left no tip. I thought nothing of it until he came back. Every day.
He became a fixture, one of those customers you see so often you stop noticing them.
One day he asked me to sit with him, and we talked for an hour.
I loved how he listened. Like everything I said mattered.
I'm just trying to make it. Working on projects, hoping something takes off.
He told me he was trying to break into tech, that money was tight, that he was sleeping in a small apartment. I felt drawn to him, not despite his struggles, but because of them. He asked me to dinner at a small, cheap restaurant, and I loved it.
I felt like I was with someone real, someone authentic, not trying to impress me with money.
He held my hand, and I thought I'd found someone genuine.
We started dating, and I fell. Completely. I told everyone about him, about how real he was, how different from other men. His apartment was tiny, but I didn't care. It felt like home. I saw his struggles as noble, as something to admire, not something pitiful. I gave him my heart, completely, because I believed he was who he said he was. I was completely in love, planning a future with someone I believed I truly knew. Then one day, something happened that changed everything.
Hey, remember me from Lincoln High?
I read about you in the business news.
Dee, incredible success story.
My world stopped.
I couldn't focus, couldn't think, just kept replaying everything. I had to confront him, had to hear it from him. He knew, instantly, that I knew.
It's true, I'm sorry. I should have told you.
Why would you hide this from me? Why would you pretend to be poor?
Because I needed to know. I needed to know if you loved me, for me, not for my money.
He said it was a test, that he needed to know if I was real. You don't test people you love. You don't deceive them. You don't make them fall in love with a lie. I felt foolish, manipulated, used. Wait, please. I left. I couldn't be there. I couldn't look at him. I spent that night crying, replaying every moment, questioning everything. I had trusted him, given him my heart, and he'd been testing me like a game. I went through the motions, but I was broken. And he said he was testing me to see if I was real, but all he did was make me feel like an idiot. I mean, to be fair, He probably has had people pretend to love him for money.
So that justifies lying? Deceiving me!
I couldn't stop researching him. This man I thought I knew. I was in love with someone I never truly knew. Please, let me explain properly. I didn't mean to hurt you. I just needed to know you were real. He kept trying, but I wasn't ready to listen. A week passed, then 2, and I couldn't move past the betrayal. He sent flowers, gifts, but none of it mattered.
He deceived you, that's valid to be angry about, but I wonder if his motivation was really about testing you, or if it was about protecting himself.
For the first time, I thought about what it must be like to be him. I realized when he was with me, he was finally just a person, not a billionaire.
After 3 weeks, I was ready to talk. I invited him to the place where it all began.
I was terrified and ready, all at once.
He looked different, real, just a man, with flaws.
We stood facing each other for the first time since the truth came out.
I'm still hurt. I'm still angry. But I want to understand why.
My whole life, people wanted me because of my money, because of my name, and I was so lonely.
But being with you, I realized the real test wasn't for you, it was for me. To see if I could be vulnerable, to be loved for myself.
We talked for hours, really talked, about his fears, about trust, about what we both needed.
I realized he wasn't a villain. He was just afraid.
I'm sorry for deceiving you, for testing you, for not trusting you enough to tell you the truth from the beginning.
We found our way back, not to where we were, but to somewhere deeper.
We walked out as people who truly knew each other for the first time. I loved him, not the poor version, not the billionaire version, but the real Alex, flawed and honest. When he brought me to his real home, it didn't feel like a betrayal. It felt like he was finally showing me everything.
His money was part of him, not all of him, but part of him.
I want to show you everything, the real work, the real me, not the performance.
He introduced me to his real world, and instead of feeling intimidated, I felt included.
We made plans, real plans.
Built on honesty.
I want to spend my life with you, the real you, and I promise, no more tests, no more lies, just honesty.
Yes, because I'm choosing you. All of you. The real you.
The billionaire who pretended to be poor finally found someone who loved him for real.
We planned a wedding, not a show, but a real celebration of what we'd found. When I walked toward him, I wasn't thinking about his money. I was thinking about how honest we'd finally become.
We spoke vows that meant something.
Because they were built on truth.
I promised to be honest with you, to be vulnerable with you, to let you see all of me, not just the parts I think you'll love.
I promise to see you, all of you, even when it's hard, even when you're scared.
and to love you anyway.
We became husband and wife, built on the foundation of truth we'd found together.
On our wedding day, all that mattered was that we finally knew each other.
We lived in both worlds, comfortable in each, because we were together. He still came to the coffee shop sometimes, and I still made his coffee. But now there were no secrets.
The billionaire who pretended to be poor had finally found something no amount of money could buy: genuine connection.
The next morning, I woke as his wife, and everything felt different.
He looked at me like I was the most precious thing he owned, which wasn't money, it was trust.
Our first morning as husband and wife was ordinary and perfect.
The world was celebrating our love, and for once, the celebration was real. He had spent his whole life wondering if people's love was real, and now he finally knew.
We talked about traveling, and it wasn't about expensive hotels. It was about creating memories together.
I realized he'd learned that too. That money wasn't the measure of a life well lived. On our honeymoon, we talked about everything. Our past, our future, our fears.
I was so lonely, even surrounded by everything. And then you made me feel like I was enough.
You're more than enough. You always were. Yuska. You just needed someone to see it.
In that silence, we found everything we'd been searching for.
Every room held a piece of his story, and now I was part of it.
This is where I spend most of my time, building something meaningful. Not just making money.
I saw his ambition, his drive, his brilliant mind, and I fell in love all over again.
We started planning how to use his resources, not to accumulate more, but to make a real difference.
I discovered he'd been a philanthropist in secret, the same way he'd been poor in secret. He was a man of contradictions, hiding his wealth and his generosity.
He loved these children, not because he funded their care, but because he understood suffering.
That day, I understood him completely. We talked about how his test of me had become his test of himself. The test wasn't whether I loved you for money. It was whether you could let someone love you fully and truly. Watched love stories beginning where mine had, and I could see when they were real. He still surprised me, still showed me he chose me every single day. His words meant more than any amount of money ever could. He had learned, truly learned, that vulnerability was strength.
When media discovered our story,
We chose to tell it honestly.
as a lesson,
Our story became about something bigger than us, about authenticity in a world of facades.
Our pain became healing for others.
I want to help other couples navigate trust and deception using what we learned.
Let's do it! Let's turn our story into something that helps others.
They created something from their pain, something that would touch thousands of lives.
She became a guide for others because she understood the journey
From doubt to trust. Her authenticity her willingness to share her pain, became her greatest strength.
He had learned that supporting his partner's dreams was worth more than any business success.
As their love grew deeper, they talked about creating life, about raising children with honesty.
She imagined children who would never have to wonder if love was real, because they'd grow up surrounded by it.
I want to raise children who know they're loved for exactly who they are.
Their ordinary moments were extraordinary because they were real.
She sometimes sat alone in the cafe where it all began and marveled at the journey.
He had learned to see people, really see them, because someone had truly seen him.
The billionaire who once hid behind a false identity now helped others see their worth. Their love story wasn't just theirs anymore. It belonged to everyone who needed to believe in real connection.
As years passed, their love only deepened, and their purpose only grew.
They had healed thousands of relationships by being brave enough to heal their own.
Each letter was proof that vulnerability was the greatest strength.
When they were recognized for their contributions, they knew it was never about their wealth, it was always about their heart.
Real love requires risk. The risk of being known, the risk of vulnerability, the risk of truth.
He listened to his wife, the woman who had changed his life, and felt complete gratitude.
They had learned that real success wasn't measured in accolades, but in lives changed. The girl who fell for a billionaire pretending to be poor had become a woman who helped others find real love.
The billionaire pretended to be poor and lost a fantasy, but gained a real life.
Some things never change, like the way he looked at her, like she was everything.
And she looked at him like he was worth the test, worth the pain, worth everything.
The test he gave her had made her stronger, and the forgiveness she gave him had made them both whole. Love, it turned out, wasn't about pretending. It was about being brave enough to be real. The billionaire pretended to be poor to test her, but the real test was learning to be truly human. And in their love, they became a light for everyone searching for something real. We became the kind of couple that made other people believe in real love.
Years passed, and we built something real, something that lasted.
I look back at that girl, the one who served coffee to a billionaire and thought he was poor, and I'm grateful for her. A billionaire pretended to be poor to test me, but the test he didn't expect was the one that truly mattered. The test was whether we could build something real after he lied, and the answer was yes. Love isn't about the test. It's about what you do when the truth comes out. He tested me, and in doing so, he tested himself, and we both passed. The billionaire who pretended to be poor found something no amount of money could buy: real love. And that love was worth every test, every lie, every moment of doubt, because it was real. The billionaire pretended to be poor, and in doing so, he became real.
And I finally knew what real love felt like.
The test had transformed us both.
They had built a life that didn't require pretense,
only authenticity.
The billionaire who pretended to be poor learned that the greatest wealth is being truly loved for